Today I'm going to be installing a new clutch cable here, which I just received because mine happened to start fraying a little bit like that because I had this little wheel. I had that notch in the wheel on the inside and it kept rubbing against it and eventually frayed everything. So usually when it's time for a new clutch cable, you could either see that or you can feel it starting to get really loose at the end of its tension. So time for a new one before it snaps. So I'm going to go ahead and install this new one. Should be about $20 to $25 depending on your clutch cable. What you want to note when you're taking everything off is the routing of the clutch cable. So we're coming down here and going through the side fairing and this bottom one a little bit before we come out here. So I'm going to take both this one and this one off. I'm going to start with these little push pins on the inside here. And all of those will just come falling out. And then I'm going to need my other hand here to undo that turn signal clip. Alright, so side fairing's off. I'm going to go ahead and take off the lower. And now you can pretty much see the full routing of the clutch cable. It's going to come from its mounting point on the clutch all the way up. And we're going to follow this same path when we put it back in. So it goes through here, it comes up, and out here from behind the fork. Go ahead and get a better view here. It's this one. So now we're going to go ahead and detach it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this nut on the left, unscrew it all the way so that we can pull the clutch cable off of the guide right there, and now it's loose and free. So now with the other side loosened, we can pull this piece out, pull it through, make sure your grooves line up, pull it through, and oops, sorry, hope you can see that. Make sure the grooves line up, pull it all out, and slide it through the mounting point there. I'm going to need another hand for this. Whoop, there it goes. So yeah, do that with two hands so it doesn't slap against your windscreen like mine just did. And there's our nice crapped up clutch cable. Now we'll just run this through, pull it out. Now that we're ready to take it off with a pair of pliers here, I went and pulled down this little metal flap that was keeping the barbell end of the clutch line in. So now with that flap opened, you just slip it right on out. Loosen this zip tie there. It's an adjustable one, so you can just loosen it. And then we'll go ahead and pull it all on through. Let's see if I can get the shot of that. And now you've got an old dead clutch cable. So now we'll go ahead and start routing the new one back. So now I've got the new line. I just had to take a second there to go ahead and put it through, but I've got the new line going up the same path underneath this grouping of wires up there. Basically what I did was just go through this little bracket here. You can see it coming down, and I just followed whatever this one is, the throttle cables as well. Followed the same path as the throttle cables, and when you put it down there with them, you'll see it start coming through right behind there. So just slide it down the same path it went behind these couple of wires there. Now we'll just keep going. We're going to put it back through this loop and then back along into its retaining bracket here. And then we'll hook it up. Pull the new one through. Got it so that this nut here is up against this little piece that comes out and holds it in place. I'm going to tighten this one down so that it's snug against there. And then pull the line back into where it connects to the clutch and fold that little piece of metal back on down. So it's closed off there. We'll deal with the tension in a little bit. But now that it's all through, it's time to reconnect. Over at the lever. So this is going to take two hands again, but essentially I'm just going to pull the line down through that groove and into the seat on the clutch. I actually misled you a bit. It'd be best to put it into the clutch lever first so that you can still pull it back. Make sure the wheel is all the way flush against it to give you the most room. And I need a little more line, so I'm going to go ahead and loosen this piece up a little bit to give myself a little more. I'm kind of just doing this as I go along. So I pulled this back out of the bracket that holds it, the tension wise in place. And now that should give me a lot more slack on this end to go ahead and put it in there. So now the lever is all good to go. Now we can go ahead and set the tension here wherever it needs to be. Get this back in place and tighten those down. So now just to finish up, I tighten this nut down to where it needed to be, whatever it's tight, I promise. Tighten that down. Made sure the fitment along the route is good. Pulled this twisty tie tight again. And now we can set the clutch tension, since it was incredibly loose from, this is just the free play. So I'm going to go ahead and wind this wheel out until it's where I want it, just a little bit of free play to know that we're not running the clutch or having the clutch pulled in a little bit normally, and then we'll be good to go. Put the fairings back on and finish it off. So now you can see I've spun the wheel out quite a bit of distance. Now I've got just a little bit of free play in the clutch, and it springs back into place the way it should. And lastly, so you don't get a frayed line like I just did, make sure that groove is somewhere not on the inside. Because as you can see, when you pull the clutch out, it's going to rub against the bottom piece. If that bottom piece is the groove, your line's going to fray again really quick. You might want to also throw a little bit of grease in there just to lubricate the line. And same with the other end. But that's about it for the clutch cable install. I'm just going to go ahead and put the side fairings back on. If you'd like to see what happens every time I install a new part, go ahead and just subscribe to my channel. Whenever I do a new install, I'll make a video of it and throw it up on YouTube.